Good morning and welcome to another beautiful morning. This morning, yes, today is Thursday, the 29th of January 2026, and it's always a wonderful time with you on the show. Yes, my name is Odili, and this is High Voltage, your weekday news analysis show, where we review and analyze the news and also talk about the issues affecting us as citizens of Nigeria, ranging from politics to education, health, security, and other topical stories making rounds in the country. And remember, you can always join us in the studio by calling in on 0706 048 5853, 0706 048 5853, or 0915 570 8347. All right, so you can save the number on your phone and get ready to call in when the phone lines are open. And of course, we are live on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on High Voltage News. Like, comment, share the video for others to be part of the conversation and also for you to stay connected with what is happening in the country. Remember, the channel to subscribe to is High Voltage News, and you can stream us live and join the conversation on what is going on in Nigeria. All right, so we are going to head straight into the top stories on today's papers, and we are starting with the Vanguard newspaper. And on it we see Tax Reform Act. Tax Reform Act, no adulteration. The Senate says that there's no adulteration on the Tax Reform Act. All right, so since last year, there's been a kind of fight with the House of Assembly and the government, saying that what the bill they passed was different from what was published by the government, and with what was added, some different things that were added from the one that was published by the federal government. Now the Senate president is saying that there is no adulteration, that it was the same thing that was passed by the House. That is the same thing that the government has published. Now we don't really know who is saying the truth, who exactly is telling Nigerians the truth, because they've shown us, the House of Assembly showed us what they passed, and we saw exactly what the federal government passed, and we saw the difference. So why is the Senate president, Godswill Akpabio, saying that there was no adulteration? Let's read what the Vanguard has to say. And they said the Senate President Godswill Akpabio has said that the tax laws which took effect in January were not adulterated. Akpabio made the clarification during plenary on Wednesday, dismissing speculations that there were other versions of the laws in circulation. So he said, I understand that there is another version that was circulating around, which was not in compliance with what was contained in our votes and proceedings. So he keeps claiming that, yes, he's trying to let us know that he himself saw the law that was circulating, but he's trying to tell Nigerians that it is the one that they passed. That is what they are using. Okay, so if it is true, that means we are not expecting any arrest from the government, because from the one that was gazetted, published by the federal government, that said that when you don't comply, that they can arrest you. It was different from what the House of Assembly passed. So now, which one are we taking? They are yet to clarify us. They are yet to tell us which one that we are meant to take. Is it the one by the House of Assembly, or is it the one by the federal government? So when they are making statements, they should clarify Nigerians. They really need to. So he said that there are about 4 acts. So the 4 acts are ready and gazetted and signed by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Signed by the President and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. All right, so we really need to understand exactly the one we should follow. Okay, so that is the case on the Tax Reform Act. So Senate President says there's no adulteration, that what they passed is what is being used. Okay, next on that we see Sharia Council to INEC. We won't accept compromised election in 2027. Sharia Council to INEC. We won't accept compromised election in 2027. And that is on the page 26, on the page 26 of the Vanguard newspaper. And of course, nobody wants to accept any compromised election in 2027. I mean, we deserve better. Nigerians deserve better. We deserve a lot. So let's look at this, the Sharia Council, what they are saying, because they are calling for the removal of the INEC chairman. They are calling for the removal. So the Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria has declared that it would not recognize or legitimize elections conducted under conditions it considered compromised, warning that the credibility of Nigeria's democratic process must be protected ahead of the 2027 general elections. So this position was made known at the Council's annual pre-Ramadan lecture and General Assembly, attended by Islamic scholars, attended by the traditional and community leaders. And we have professionals, we are also there, with representatives of Islamic organization and the media in Abuja yesterday. So they are saying that they do not want the leadership of the INEC chairman. And the reason they do not want that is because they feel that the chairman is compromised. That the chairman said that there's Christian genocide going on in the country. Meanwhile, they said that the president has already said that there is no Christian genocide. So they are trying to bank on that. They're trying to bank on that idea. And as a result of that, they are calling for the removal of the INEC chairman. I don't know if this is enough reason to call for the removal. I don't think, honestly, because this what they are doing, they said it stems from concerns over Amupitan's integrity, over his integrity and whether he's neutral, whether it's for Christians or it's for Muslims. So this is what they are trying to weigh. Is this man for everyone in the country, or is he going to support a particular religion? So that is what they are looking at. That is what they are looking at. And to be honest, we do not want anybody being biased, anybody supporting a particular region. But we also people that are truthful, that are honest, that can just come out and say things exactly the way it is, exactly what they are seeing in the country. So it's not about, we don't want people supporting a particular tribe, particular religion. Just be honest, just be truthful, come out and say things the way they are. All right, so that is the situation about this Sharia Council asking for the removal of the INEC chairman. And to me, I don't think that this is enough reason. This is not enough reason to remove anybody. All right, so let's move on. Still on the Vanguard newspaper, we see sit at home. Soludo shuts 12 more markets as traders block Niger Bridge. Soludo shuts 12 more markets as traders block Niger Bridge. If you saw the video yesterday, there was a protest and they didn't allow people to come into Anambra State or to leave Anambra State. They had to block the Niger Bridge. Deltans, from people coming from Asaba to Onitsha, they were not able to pass. And they were protesting because the governor had shut down the Onitsha market, the main market. From Tuesday, it has been locked. Since Tuesday till now, it's still locked. And the governor, like we talked the day we brought up this issue, the governor is planning to shut it down again if they refuse to open up on Monday. So we are looking at Monday. Let's see if these traders are going to come out and Even after the protest, there was a protest at the market on Tuesday. On Tuesday, then they took the protest to the bridge yesterday. So let's see if on Monday they are going to come out. But I think that what the governor really needs to do, like we've said this over the time, is to provide security, because this sit at home is driven by a lot of things. It's driven by fear. A lot of persons are afraid. Will I be the first person to come out and open my shop? So you, now that you are providing security, you've brought out the police, the army to ensure that nobody opens up their shops. What if on Monday, are they going to be around? Or are you just going to leave us to take care of our own lives? Are you going to leave us to risk our lives? That is what the governor needs to consider. A lot of persons initially, when they started, didn't want to be part of it. They wanted to come out and make their sales. But then, as it continued, the fear of coming out has led a lot of persons, they just decide to sit, just decide to stay at home. What's the point of risking my life because of how much that I'm going to sell for a day? So the governor needs to look at this. He needs to look into this situation and settle it the right way. He really needs to settle it the right way. I don't know if he has people that are really advising him, but they need to. This is not the way to go about situations like this. This is not the way to go about it. And he has remained firm in this shutdown. He has remained so firm because he came out yesterday to talk. He was talking, addressing the situation about the protests, and that people are telling him to have a law that says that you must open on a Monday, but he has refused to do that. So this current situation going on in Onitsha is not a very good one when it comes to the economy of the state and also the economy of Nigerians. As a country, it is not a good one. For a whole week, the largest market in West Africa is being shut down. To me, it doesn't make sense. The governor needs to find a proper way to handle this situation. He really needs to do that. So he went on to close 12 more markets. 12 more markets. But I'm still asking, what is Soludo with the markets? Because when we look at this, it's not just the markets that are observing the sit at home. I doubt that even government offices open on Mondays. So why has it not been shut down? Even banks, even schools, although I heard that he has given a warning to private schools that have refused to open, that they will be shut down as well. So he's very serious about this situation. He's really serious, and he wants everywhere to be lively and to be open on a Monday. So we are looking ahead of this coming Monday. Let us see how it's going to be in Onitsha. Are they going to comply, or are they going to keep doing what they want to do? So this protest by the youth, I saw the crowd that really came out to protest. Is really, I don't know if all of them were traders or maybe a lot of other persons joined the protest, but it's saying something about the people that they have made. It's like they have made a choice that have decided to live like this, have decided to enjoy my Mondays at home. And the governor, it's my shop. I pay my tax. I pay everything that I'm supposed to pay. The governor has no right to close my shop. But one thing is, we are in Nigeria. If one person could sue or two persons could sue the governor for damages, maybe all these things. But I keep saying, what about the judicial system? Is it going to work in favor of the traders or in favor of the government? So that is why maybe a lot of persons might have considered suing the governor. But because of these situations attached to it, because of what we are going to see, the results, they might not want to go ahead with that. So the governor needs to understand that these are people's shops. They rented it. They paid for it. They can decide, although it started from the sit at home, but they can decide to open up their shops or not to open up their shops. But then, what do you think about this? What exactly do you have to say concerning this? All right, we are going to move to another paper. Before we take the phone calls, we are going to let's take a look at the Punch newspaper, talking about the crackdown, the protest that has been going on in Lagos, the Makoko demolitions, and not just the Makoko demolition. There's been a lot of demolitions going on in Lagos, and people are not happy with that. People are not okay. A lot of the citizens, the residents of those locations, they are not okay with that. We know, I don't know if you've heard of Makoko, but it is one of the slums, one of the places where poor persons, those who could not really afford to stay in all these developed places in Lagos, these are the places they've decided to stay, and the government demolished the location, and it led to deaths of a lot of persons. So they are protesting it. But my problem is not that they are protesting it, because a lot of persons we have freedom to protest. If you see that what the government is doing is not right, or you feel that they are encroaching on your rights, you can protest. Peaceful protest, we have the right to do that. But my problem is the police officers arresting protesters. That is the problem I have with Nigerian police officers and the army, the soldiers. Firing tear gas at these persons protesting, arresting them. Is it supposed to be so? Here on the Punch newspaper, I'm having images of one person being carried and hurt. And this is as a result of the intervention of the police. We keep saying it. When people are coming out to protest, the police are supposed to protect them and ensure that nothing goes wrong. But it looks like it is the police that are causing things to go wrong. These people are not happy with the situation. They are not happy with the condition of living. They are not even, a lot of them might not even be okay with where they are living, but because they cannot afford the money, they just have no choice to live there. Now you are demolishing the houses. Is there any compensation for these families, for this household? Or you just go ahead and I heard there was just short notice for them to pack and look for another place to live. So this thing that keeps going on in the country, not just in Lagos, but in every other state where the government just demolishes people's properties without any at least long notice, give them enough time. Give them enough time to save up and get another place, or at least compensate them. But you can't just leave a poor person out there. What do you expect from the person? So these persons are protesting, they've protested, and from what Punch says, it says that human rights groups, activists, and social media users have condemned the Lagos State Police Command and the Lagos State government over the arrest and the use of force on residents who protested the demolition of their homes across parts of the state on Wednesday. This was yesterday that they did the protests. So the condemnation followed the police deployment of tear gas to disperse hundreds of demonstrators who converged in Ikeja to protest what they described as their displacement without adequate compensation or relocation. So now this is why crime increases in all these states. This is why you see a lot of touts. Now you leave them without any relocation, no government building for them to even, okay, let us stay here, keep them for a while. IDP camps, nothing, no provision, and just leave them to walk around the streets. It doesn't make sense to me. Before a government should embark on demolishing people's houses, they should provide accommodation. Maybe something affordable, or maybe something free for these persons to stay till they are able to afford another place to stay. So honestly, to me, this action, I condemn it. And I also condemn the police officers who arrested the protesters. That is why when a lot of persons says, Let us come out and protest what the government is doing. People are afraid of coming out to protest because when I land in prison, a lot of person will forget me. It will just be us. We'll now be facing the government. So this issue of arresting people that are coming out to just protest, it is totally wrong. I am not in support of that, and I believe that a lot of Nigerians are not in support of that. Allow people to express themselves. They didn't come out with guns, they didn't come out with weapons. They are just there telling the government, we are not okay with what you are doing. Allow people to express themselves. It is totally wrong for the government and for the police officers that are supposed to be protecting the citizens, working with the government against the citizens. It is wrong. But then what do you think about this whole thing? The phone lines are opened on 0706 048 5853. 0706 048 5853. You can call us and let us know your contribution and your comment on the headlines that has been read to you. And remember that you can join us live on YouTube on High Voltage News. Subscribe, like, leave a comment, and share the video for others to be part of the conversation. And you've been listening to Volt 104.3 FM. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning. My dear sister Odile.
You're welcome. Your name and your location.
All right. This is that the owner is recording for me.
All right, please go ahead.
All right. Please, I want to speak on the issue of Sharia and moving on.
Okay, okay.
And next chairman.
Yes.
You see what is going on in this country.
Mm.
Yeah, when one is talking, it will be as if he gets a particular set of people or what. We are all monkeys, and the same blood runs in our veins, in spite of any religion one. Let me tell you something. This Sharia did not even come out when Yakubu Mahmoud emerged as an next chairman.
Okay.
I am aware that they are working that time.
Yes. They've been there.
They did not even, yes, they did not even talk at all. Okay? Now, something.
Mm.
In politics, a religious something. How are they now trying to make it a religious something? Politics is politics. Religion is religion. Okay? If the same federal government call Sheikh Gumi and make him my next chairman, you know that this will not talk.
They will likely not talk.
They will not talk. They will love it so much. It's because it's not favoring them. And listen to me. It will see. What if, okay, this one is moved now, another person coming now. Okay, calm, we start crying. Christian Association of Nigeria now start crying, say that we don't want this.
Mm.
How will we see it? It will become a religion something. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
The Muslim ticket they bring, when they inaugurated these people in Abuja, Ego State, the Muslim ticket, when the vice president elect in Ego State, you saw some bishops go there and honor the invitation. I don't want Nigeria then. You saw them. You see it now. It's a Muslim ticket. Okay, they are pursuing a movie because of what we said about the Christian genocide in Nigeria. Is it not true? Is the movie of the international community? Is he the only one that called for the assistance or called the attention of the international community in Nigeria because of genocide happening in the north? Is it not true? America themselves, are they not seeing it themselves? Are they not seeing it? Are they trying to tell America that there is no genocide, there is nothing like that or whatever? They themselves are doing everything. America did not even go to the United States and testify about the genocide. It is not. It's not among those that testify in Congress now. It's not. But now they are calling because they saw that he will not favor them. They know that it's not, they are not, it's not tally with their religion.
Mm.
And if we start making it a religion something, you know that we will not have an next year man. You understand?
Yes.
That the federal government will now start appointing a next year man from all the Igbo tribes and the religion clan. You understand?
Mm.
How they are crying does not hold water at all. It's nothing like that. Of course, you know that the federal government now released this one now and brought another person now, and they welcome it now. Another set of people will rise up and say no, no, no. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes. Another thing. So they have shown their intent. They would have not even talked at all. They would have not even talked. They would have kept quiet because of whatever that man said about the genocide happening in this country is what is happening, and the whole world is seeing it. It's not only him that mentioned that. Is it because he has come to the limelight of federal government to conduct election in this country? See, if he will put Tinubu there, let him put him back. We are not complaining. Christians are not complaining. Nobody is complaining again.
Okay.
You know,
Mm.
for the for Anambra market meeting protest. You see that now. Zulu don't have 1 second term. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So the law that he didn't brought out that time, and what he didn't do that time is because of the fear of not re-elected,
Mm.
for not re-elected, also fear for him to be re-elected. Let me put it that way. If there is an extent he will go, he will not be re-elected. Understand?
Yes.
And Soludo himself stands to the truth of IPOB in the third tenor. Well, I'm telling you, he stands to the truth of IP. And Soludo himself knows the reason why this that role is holding and honors it so much. Now, look, let me ask. Soludo said claims that he is visiting Namdekan. Eh? Some of the governors here visiting Namdekan when they elected newly, when their first term, they are visiting him, coming out to tell us that he will him and all these things. Now that he's there in Sokoto prison, how many times did Soludo go there? How many times did Soludo go there? Take picture with him, come out and tell the Anambarians that Nnamdi Kanu, that life imprisonment does not mean life imprisonment, that he will come out to. How many times?
Mm.
It's because they are using all those things to gain the public trust. They are using all those things to try to maneuver the public mindset for them to be elected in the office. You understand?
Yes.
Now, how many times did forget it now. This protest that is happening now, this thing that he's saying now, did you hear him mention Nnamdi Kanu?
Mm.
Did him come out again and tell the people that, see, the work condition of this man in the Sokoto prison is fine. I visited him that this is what happened, this meeting and everything. Do you even see media talking about it? It's because these people know how to manipulate. Their manipulation, they know it well, they know how to run the game. They are using Nnamdi Kanu to draw the mindset of them. Of course, they know that if you don't stand with Nnamdi Kanu, putting you inside office will be tough and very hard. See, other laws are coming for other states in this same southeast after the first term. Once they voted in again, you will see what their templates are, the real person they are in office. You will feel the real person they are. But they can't do anything now because of their first term. They will just lie low and wait for the fact, let me just finish this one and just let me just relax, wipe low and finish all this. Let them vote me for second term. It's just 8 years. If they once I'm declared winner, I'll come out the real person I am. How many of these governors are visited? It's only Alex of Agency that visited. Now, how many of them outside in the country? The other four governors, none of them have visited. But these people that have been going to DSS, the going there, having picture with him, coming out to tell people that look at. Now that he's in prison, now they are now coming out in their real clothes to now deal with the masses that is following the mass. You see it now. That is the problem. But let me allow that to go.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, 0706 048 5853. 0706 048 5853. Hello, good morning.
My dear.
You're welcome.
Let me just ask for something. That without the question that took a lot of our time.
All right.
To begin one word,
Okay, you're welcome.
I'm going extra mile to throw away the call that so-called Islamic Council of wherever has made. Yes, I'm coming back home. This is an interesting acquisition of Nigerian car to come do everything humanly possible, spiritually possible, practically, to unite, come together under one umbrella. So at any time they bring the petrol tax on, they make any that window, they come out with any resolution, any idea.
Your line is breaking. I think the network is bad.
Let me shift my
All right. Yes.
So under one umbrella, whenever they start and came out, and then tell us what they have to reach behind those doors. We now agree. We now know that we are following our people. They said that they are our people. So, but anything short of that, my sister, they are just kidding about it. They are soliciting for inciting people. So that they want to repeat what happened with Dr. Jonathan when he won at last 2011 election. The campaign that they made that if they did it, the seat was not ready for Mohammed Buhari, so the country will go on fire. What is free? So that is what they are systematically planning and then inciting. That is free. Let me give others, allow others for him to talk.
All right. Thank you so much.
Nigeria belongs to all of us.
Yes.
No woman, no that is freedom.
Exactly.
All Nigeria has got that.
Thank you so much. Yes, Nigerian belongs to all of us, and all of us make the decision on what goes on in the country. 0706 048 5853. Hello, good morning.
Morning to you, Abatosu from Katekuro.
You're welcome.
So start with it, and just like one of the callers rightly said, governors of South is not only Soludo. They feel that we are now with the position of man and the kind that we are now handicapped. That is what they are thinking. That is what they feel. That is what they thought and have in their mind. And therefore, the people, they will do anything they please and like to the people. That is their mindset. But let them get it. Me talking to you, and again, some people, I don't know whether some people thought that change or thought that we that we call our account. I serve somebody under an appointee of the last governor of Enugu State before back.
Okay.
Even that sit at the home day, he don't normally go to work every Monday. If he is to go out, that should be in the evening time. They are free. I don't know the days that when they are to be free, but you will continue to do it. So Soludo, I pushing people, doing all these things too. I have said you heard what I said earlier. And another thing is because in this side of religion, we are not fighting. Even with the it was incomplicated enough, it was enshrined enough to be law abiding. All these governors of South Africa, they are doing, taking that they are untouchable. It is the Arab world that I am not a foolish person. I'm a well-experienced and exposed chef that I have lived with Yoyibo in Nigeria here for over 20 years. So
All
I'm
right.
not a stupid.
Yeah.
I'm no more than many of them.
All right.
And that is on that angle. Then coming to Western Islamic, Western talk. To be frank with you, those people are part of our problem. Nigeria comprises Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo. But anytime one thing is not going 70% or 80 to the northerners, yeah, they will begin to cry foul. And above all, that story you married, you didn't know the full details. The details I have had is the full details. This either chairman, he wants to make a write-up in which he criticized the killing of Christians in Nigeria. But
Okay, please do well to call back on 0706 048 5853. The phone line is still open, and you can as well call on 0915 570 83.